If you're 65 or older, there's a good chance you've been missing out on hundreds of dollars in cruise perks, completely free perks that most passengers never realize exist. Priority boarding, waived fees, free room service, the list goes on. But here's the catch: the cruise lines won't tell you about them, because every free service they give you, from luggage help to dining flexibility, cuts into their profits. They'd rather you quietly pay full price and never know the difference. So today, I'll show you exactly what to ask for, who to talk to, and even the phrases that turn a polite request into a guaranteed yes. Whether you've been cruising for decades or you're planning your first trip, these senior perks can completely change how you sail. Before we dive in, be sure to comment below when you're thinking about going on a cruise. Let's get into it. Number 1. Free priority boarding. No wheelchair required. Here's something most travelers over 65 don't realize. You don't need to be in a wheelchair to get early boarding. If you have any mobility concerns, whether that's tired legs from walking long gangways, trouble standing for long periods, or simply wanting to avoid the chaos of embarkation day, you qualify for free priority boarding. Cruise lines don't advertise this because it costs them time and staff resources to coordinate. But it's part of maritime accessibility law, meaning they legally can't say no. Here's how to get it. When booking, simply request mobility assistance. You can be specific by saying ambulatory assistance, which means you can walk, but need help with distances or stability. That single phrase gets you early boarding before the general crowd, help with luggage to your stateroom, reserved elevator access during peak hours, first off privileges at tender ports, priority disembarkation on your final day. Pro tip: you can even request this help only for certain ports. If you're fine in calm destinations but nervous about rocky, tender boats, just ask for assistance on those days. It's your right, and it costs nothing extra. Number 2. Free room service. No $7.95 delivery fee. Most cruise lines charge a convenience fee for room service, often around $8 per order. But if you're over 65 and have any medical, dietary, or mobility-related needs, you can have that fee completely waived. This applies to guests who need to eat at specific times due to medication schedules, have difficulty standing in long buffet lines, manage conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure that require timed meals. You don't have to prove anything or fill out forms. Just be polite and clear about your needs. When calling guest services, use a phrase like, "I have senior dietary requirements related to my medication timing and would like to understand what room service accommodations are available." This phrasing does two things. It signals a legitimate reason, and it triggers their internal policy to offer accommodations without a fee. And here's why cruise lines don't tell you this. It's cheaper for them to quietly give you free room service than to risk a medical issue on board. They'd rather you be comfortable and safe, but only if you ask. Number 3. Guaranteed early dining times. You've probably noticed that cruise dining rooms fill up fast. What most people don't know is that seniors have priority access to early dining times and preferred seating, but you have to request it directly. Each cruise line handles it differently. Royal Caribbean, Guest 65, Plus can request guaranteed early dining around 5 p.m. and specific table locations such as near entrances or away from noisy service areas. Carnival, seniors can secure consistent main dining room times or priority reservations at specialty restaurants to match their medication or rest schedules. Princess Cruises offers senior dining preferences through their accessible travel program, but you must mention it during booking. The key is how you ask. Don't just say, "Do you have senior dining?" Instead say, "I'd like to request senior dining accommodations for passengers 65 and older." That specific wording prompts the system to check for options that aren't publicly listed. Getting your preferred meal time not only keeps your schedule comfortable, it also ensures calmer dining rooms, better service, and fresher food. Number 4. VIP treatment on shore excursions. Most cruise passengers assume that shore excursions are first come, first served. But if you're over 65, you're actually entitled to something better: complimentary assistance and priority access that make those long days off the ship far more comfortable. Cruise lines rarely advertise it because every extra staff member or reserved seat costs them time and money. But most major lines have senior excursion policies built right in. They just wait for you to ask. Here's what you can request: priority boarding when getting on excursion buses or tenders, reserved front row seating on tour vehicles, a bit of extra time during a rest stops, alternative transportation on walking heavy tours, complimentary escort assistance in complicated or crowded ports. The phrase that works is simple: I'd like to request shore excursion accommodations for senior travelers with mobility considerations. That's all you need. You don't need a wheelchair or a doctor's note, just a polite request for extra time and support. It's about comfort, not limitations. And if you combine this perk with the next one, you can turn your entire cruise into a first-class experience without paying a dime extra. Number 5. Free cabin upgrades for comfort needs. Everyone wants a better cabin, but here's the secret: seniors often have special leverage that others don't. Guest services and hotel directors are trained to prioritize comfort accommodations for older passengers, and they have the authority to move you when availability allows. Here's how it works. On embarkation day or the first night of your cruise, if your cabin feels uncomfortable, too far from elevators, difficult to access, or lacking grab bars, mention it at guest services. Use phrasing like, "I'm finding my assigned cabin a bit difficult due to mobility and comfort needs. Could I be considered for a more accessible location?" That simple, respectful explanation gives staff the flexibility to offer upgrades such as accessible cabins with improved bathrooms, lower deck rooms with shorter elevator rides, cabins closer to dining areas or medical centers, even balcony upgrades for mobility or air circulation comfort. You don't need to demand or exaggerate. Just state your needs clearly and politely. Cruise staff deal with pushy passengers all day. When you're calm, specific, and respectful, they'll go out of their way to help you. Number 6. The specialty dining loophole. Specialty restaurants are a big moneymaker for cruise lines, but if you're 65 or older, there are legitimate ways to enjoy them for free or at a discount. Here's how to qualify: medical or dietary needs. If you need low-sodium, diabetic-friendly, or texture-modified foods, many cruise lines will seat you at a specialty venue where chefs can better accommodate your needs without the usual fee. Medication timing. If your prescription schedule doesn't align with main dining hours, you can request an alternate meal time in a specialty restaurant. Milestones. Seniors celebrating anniversaries, retirements, or major health recoveries can often receive complimentary specialty dining, but only if they mention it. Use this phrase when speaking to guest services or dining management. We're celebrating a special milestone and wanted to ask about senior dining accommodations. It signals that you're not looking for a handout. You're making a legitimate request tied to their own hospitality policies. And remember, these perks aren't about taking advantage. They exist because cruise lines want to support guests who have earned the right to travel comfortably. Number 7. The hidden future cruise discounts. This last perk is one of the best-kept secrets in the industry. Seniors often qualify for substantial future cruise discounts, even if they don't have elite loyalty status or spend heavily on board. Here's what most people miss: loyalty acceleration. Passengers over 65 can sometimes be fast-tracked to higher loyalty tiers, earning perks like free Wi-Fi or room upgrades on future trips. Medical consideration discounts. If you required any kind of medical accommodation during your cruise, guest services can apply credits or discounts toward your next booking to encourage you to sail again. Referral multipliers. When seniors refer other senior travelers, many cruise lines double or triple the standard referral bonus. Repositioning cruise access. Seniors often get early access to repositioning sailings, those long-distance cruises priced far below standard rates. To unlock these, Ask this at guest services near the end of your trip. As a senior traveler, I'd like to learn what future cruise accommodations or discounts might be available based on my current sailing experience. That phrasing prompts staff to pull up internal offers not shown online, often saving you 20 to 30% on your next voyage. How to unlock all of these perks. You don't have to memorize every detail. Just remember this master script when talking to guest services. Hi, I'm 65 and sailing with you. I wanted to check what accommodations might be available for senior passengers with comfort or mobility considerations. Those few words open the door to nearly every perk in this video. You're not demanding special treatment. You're asking for the accommodations you're already entitled to. And here's the best part. Being polite and specific goes a long way. Crew members deal with thousands of passengers daily, and the calm, informed seniors always get the best results. Your pre-cruise action plan. Before your next sailing. At booking, request mobility and dining accommodations. 2 weeks before departure, call to confirm your requests are noted. Embarkation day. Mention your age at check-in and ask about senior services. Day 1 on board. Visit guest services to confirm any cabin or dining comfort adjustments. Before disembarkation, ask about senior discounts and loyalty perks for future cruises. These aren't loopholes or sneaky tricks. They're genuine benefits designed for senior travelers. Cruise lines just quietly hope you won't know about them. So there you have it. 7 completely free cruise perks for seniors that can save you hundreds of dollars and make your voyage far more relaxing. If this helped you, give it a like and subscribe for more insider cruise tips. And in the comments, let me know which perk surprised you the most, or if you've ever successfully claimed one yourself. Thanks for watching, and here's to smoother, smarter sailing ahead.